Yep. YouTube Nation. I mean, same on Mr. B. And, you know, a couple of little things I want to look on with this test live. Yeah? Kind of the first time I ever touch a live thing. So, but all things being equal, gonna be a regular feature. But as my post on the caption, um, are we serious about our young people in Jamaica? Seriously, are we really serious? Now we are into the final stretch of what is commonly referred to now as Reggae Month, and me not this the thing, cause me a big fan of the music, as you can see. Me surround myself with the artwork, which is a representation of that. And those of you who know me and know about what we do with Yard Media, we essentially pay most of our attention to the music thing, right? Now, me personally believe that Jamaica music, reggae music, generally, and generally Jamaica music, and if you want to single it out specifically, we say reggae music. But generally speaking, me personally believe that the music have the ability to raise the economic potential and enough raise the economic potential of the country, and certainly increase the economic stocks of a majority of our young people in the country. Let's face it, our biggest resources in Jamaica is not sun and sea and hotel building, but our biggest resources are our people. And the youth is what we need to expend most of that investment on right now, because the youth them are going to receive the reins of the country over the course of the next couple of decades. You know, we've been doing music in Jamaica for a long time, and it is my view that a lot of what we talk about is when we big up a lot of the music, a lot of it is hypocrisy, because if you go back to the beginning of the music thing in Jamaica, most of the people that was making music, back in the 60s and the 50s and the 60s, them people that come from largely inner city communities, and to a large extent, the music that them create couldn't get no kind of airplay, and when it did, it was largely marginalized. The general feeling was that the people them are downtown people, and them now have the kind of standing that you want to expend all of the time and put them on radio and all that thing. And then on top of that, remember the music and its connotation, Rastafari and things. So most of from a historical standpoint, we have never really given the music the kind of support that it deserved. Um, 50, 60, 70 years later, we now are dealing with this Reggae Month thing, and this is our 14th year of Reggae Month. And as a man who live in the foreigner, we look on the Reggae Month thing as something that worthwhile paying attention to. The problem is, what we get out of Reggae Month is no different than what we've been getting for the past decades. So we'll be talking and no doing. For example, we've been doing Reggae Month for the last, 14 years. It started in 2008, to my certain knowledge. And between then and now, apart from some symposium, maybe go up on one last night, and a couple awarding of national honors and award, like a OD and like a OJ or CD to some of the artists them. We don't really do much. Reggae Month is a opportunity for a whole heap of gallivanting, and the politician them jump on a plane and them come a foreign, and them get treated like royalty. In fact, that's the expectation. And they make a whole heap of fancy talk, but none. So here's my take. let us do some stuff about the music that we can be proud of. Let us use Reggae Month going forward as an opportunity to set down some standards, some markers where we would like to accomplish. Let us look at, for example, tourism is a big part of our music. 60% of tourists come to Jamaica. Them actually come there because they want to come at the place where reggae music originated from. Reggae is played in more than 200 countries right around the world, thanks to the pioneers, the Marleys and the Peter Toshes, the Jimmy Cliffs, and so on. People like Prince Buster, and so on and so forth. And these guys have laid the foundation, laid the groundwork, you know. But what we now do is tourists are come to Jamaica, a lot of Jamaicans who live overseas come back in the country because they want experience with it. There's no place in Jamaica where you can go and sit down and listen to some live music. Those are just the facts. We cannot claim to be a country that prioritizes music, but we don't have a space dedicated to the enjoyment of the music, not only by visitors, but your nationals alike. We spent the last 2 decades a kill out dancehall music and sound system. We pass all kind of law about noise abatement act and all kind of thing. And the bottom line is we simply not care about the music because the people that want to make the music are yaga yaga. And so what we do is you pass laws to repress them. We hear about royalties and thing, and you buy a license and all that kind of something. But the bottom line is that the sound system culture is a massive part of the Jamaican music culture. And if you pass the kind of legislation where I tell you that people can't play music up, at a certain time, on a certain day within certain communities, you basically kill the creativity because the sound system and the dancehall component that it represents is a critical element of Jamaica's music. So we need to fix that because the dancehall thing is a way of revitalizing individual communities. And so we are ball now about gunman and scammer and all them kind of things. But if you remove these basic economic opportunities that the sound systems provided within communities, what you do is leave the youth them now for them own devices. And they have demonstrated that them not short are fine opportunities for themselves, as nefarious and as deleterious as it is to the economy. Them are going to do it because guess what? When I pay attention to them, this past, today I say I glean a report where Petersfield High School, but normally feel a good champs team. And Petersfield basically I say most of the youth them had earmarked for run a champs this year. A significant portion of them just drop out of school because guess where them going? Them going at the scamming thing. Because it just a further demonstration of how disconnected we have become from the young people, this younger generation. We don't understand what it needs. We don't understand what drive them. And so we go down this road. And so I am of the view that if we're serious about the music, we have to start to lay down some markers. Right? One of the first things we want to do is we need to give our Jamaican population, the young people there, the current generation of Jamaicans, 16 to 20, 16 to 40, 45-year-old. One of the first things we need to do is give the people them something that them can identify with, right? We have one slate a national hero, with the exception of some of the politicians them and Marcus Garvey. Can't really identify with none of them. Let's make Robert Nesta Marley a national hero. Somebody that the average Jamaican can relate to. Present, current, still although him dead 40 years ago, music still alive and current, and so him have the ability to impact the psyche of the Jamaican. Marley represents the quintessential Jamaican in terms of his work ethic, his focus, and his forthrightness. Let's do that. That's not because once you start to give people something them can identify with, then what you do is establish an identity platform, right? Let's by the same token make Miss Lou a national hero because she too has done that work, right? So we can smartitize this whole concept of the music and the foundation of it. Let us now go to teaching music in the school system. In Trinidad, according to um, Dr. Antoinette Steins, who was on this program last night, and I listened to, and she said, in Trinidad, every youth have to learn how to play the the steel pan. Jamaica have a myriad of elements of the national culture. You know, the drumming and the kumina and the sheke and the jerry and the everything. But we are not prepared to teach these things in our school because at a certain level you say, well, our whole African tradition and it represents slavery and them kind of things. But we try to celebrate it as culture. But we have nothing that is anchoring this culture within our young people. Right? So let's start out with that. Let's also commit to creating what we call public sector, private sector partnerships, right? So we talk about this performance center. We really should have one in a Kingston and one in a Ocho Rios and one in a Montego Bay if necessary, right? So that we cater to all of the sectors of the island. I'm not saying that government must build this, but government can form the kind of partnership. And what we do is that we provide the land. Government can provide the land, but we have looked for private investors who can put in the money to lay down the infrastructure, right? And this is a place where every youth who in a music in a Jamaica is must be them desire to be able to perform at this any of these centers at any given time. We can run them center here 7 days a week because we have a tourist population that need to build your thing, run the tourism, so that people can come and enjoy the fruits of the island's culture. You can't tell me say reggae music is that important, right? But we don't have a place to enjoy it. Remember, where UNESCO declared Jamaica as well, in particular Kingston, as a cultural city, right? A creative city. And that was 7 years ago. We have done nothing with it. We love beat with chest, and Kingston is the creative capital of the Caribbean, but you don't have nothing to show for it, right? We have some disjointed programs. We have Edna Manley, which deals with School of Music and the drama and so on and so forth. We have some programs run through VTDI. We have programs run at University of the West Indies and UTech. Let us um, feed into those programs by creating a music curriculum within the secondary school system. Just like how the youth them have want to be a doctor, or a lawyer, or an engineer, them have to pass them GCE or CXC so they can go at university and study this thing. We don't have no preparation. One of the biggest problems the country have now is the older artists them find out royalties and earnings in them evening of them days because they've never understood the business of music. We cannot be a country that claim the music is so important and we don't anchor these elements, right? And and I can go on and on and on. What we need is certainly a policy formulation that look upon the country. It's the people that lay down the pathways so that investment capital can be attracted to the music. I'm not suggesting that government go build no stadium and all them kind of something. All I'm saying is if we have a policy that is bankable, private capital will come in. Let's provide incentives to people to come and build the investment platform that the music is going to be built on. Let's stop worry about, you know, Afrobeats and all them sort of something and recognize that as a music producing country, we need to target the globe. And if the African diaspora is where the thing is, African diaspora is where some 150, 160 million people, Let's target that, right? My friend Mikey Bennett tell me that every day in the year there are concerts all over the world, 100 concerts a day across the world, reggae concerts. But at the majority of them concerts, 95 of them concerts, out of them 100 concerts, don't even have a single Jamaican artist on the bill. Let's develop our artist pool, right? And allow these youths to go wherever the music is in demand. Spread your wings, right? And in the process of doing that, we nail down the business component so that in the evening of them days, these artists can benefit from. What we need is a policy, right? We need to stop the grandstanding, this thing, Reggae Month, and we have this whole heap of concert and all of that. But at the end of the day, we have nothing of substance to show, right? That don't make any sense. Let us treat the music with the respect. We need to move away from the position where we operate from over the years, where we treat the people that are participating in the music as nothing people. Therefore, nobody know I invest in them. And call Bob Marley dirty Rasta boy, and today, with our hypocrisy, right? We're ray him up, and we don't even have the stomach to get up and say, all right, let us move to the next level, right? Think about what I say. Think about what I say, and let us look at how we can build this thing out, right? Because at the end of the day, that is what counts, right? It makes no sense to talk about music is a big part of the Jamaican economy, and we don't have nothing to show for it, nothing at all, right? Because the at the end of the day, it comes down to just being a damn hypocrite, and this kind of hypocrisy, we need to walk away from it, right? If we're serious about the music, we need to engage our youngsters. We need to look at these youngsters because that's where the creativity is, right? We need to get back to the basics where we create the kind of training program, curriculum that is offering music within the school system, that we can then create centers of excellence out of. Look at what we do with track and field. Track and field in Jamaica is good, is positive because it is part of the school curriculum in terms of school sports. And so what we need to do is look at how we can bring this through the school system so that we provide, some sort of a foundation, an academic base that we can then say we're professionalize this thing. Because the talent is there. There's no question about that. The talent is already there. What is not there is that there is no program. The reason why tourism is a big business is because the government provide incentives for tourist investors, right? And if we are serious about this music business, we need to create the same kind of policy framework there where we can offer incentives to investors to come into the music business, right? Put in the kind of infrastructure, training, talent identification and development, and then we create what we call a portfolio of performers at all of the different levels, musicians, the emphasis on the creative, and then we take them and send them across the world. Think about that, right? Think about that. Give me the feedback, because me believe that is the way to go. Tell me what you think. This, as me say, first live we do from the Yard Media studio, and we wanna just use this not only from sort of give you a taste of what we have planned, and hopefully over time we can get some feedback, some on time, real time feedback. But let me hear what you think about what I say, right? And give me a feedback in the comment section there. And if you like the video, feel free to share. If you don't subscribe yet, subscribe to the channel. And of course, so that when we drop videos like this, you're gonna be there. First one to hear it. Alrighty? Amido, Mr. B. Yeah.